It says, I was bullied as a child for being a brainiac. And it wasn't fun, but it didn't bother me that much because I knew being smart is valued in society. This is not necessarily true about being gay, disabled, etc. Don't some kinds of bullying hurt more than others? And this was directed toward Carrie, but you can both answer.
I think the answer to the question lies in the personality of the individual being bullied. Some people are more impacted by bullying. Say the bullying is X level, and you have 2 or 3 or other victims of that bullying. Each of those persons' personalities will absorb that bullying in a different way, and some people will be very, very negatively impacted, potentially lifelong, from a very low amount of bullying, and some people's personalities are resilient enough that they could be bullied to a very high degree, and it could be almost like water off a duck's back. If they were kind of a loner student like I was, coming from a very rural corner of the county where you didn't see your peers other than at school, and you didn't develop those social interactions in the same way. I could care less what people said to me, or when I was bullied, didn't bother me a bit. Thankfully, I wasn't a bully towards other people, except one time, and I'm ashamed of that. But it really goes to the victim's resilience. That's why I believe the bullying policy needs to focus on the bully. Because the bully that doesn't hurt this individual too much with that bullying, when he shifts to this individual with the same level of bullying, could be creating excessive harm. And when you focus on who the victim is, you're missing the mark. You're not fixing the problem. We need to focus on who the bully is and what the bullying is and deal with that bully. And I believe when you focus on the victim, you're starting on the wrong foot. You do get to the bully, but I believe that you're fixated on who the victim is rather than the bully, and that alters the way the policy is enacted and the way the punishment is prescribed.
So I would say that we don't know where anyone is coming from when they get sent to school. So for a student who gets picked on because they're a brainiac versus a kid gets picked on because they're gay, I think it's a real interesting question. I grew up in a very unsupportive family, and I came out to my parents when I was a teenager. And so when I went to school, I needed the support from my school peers in order to get through what was going on at home. So to that point, I think we don't know what these kids are going through, and we've got to, as much as we sort of want to talk about it, we've got to do something that actually creates a safe space in our schools. And I would really be interested in another way to address just the bully, like you say. I'd like to address that in policy, a better way to do that. But it doesn't seem like we've got any suggestions, and sometimes it's really hard. I guess I don't see any legislative suggestions from any other organizations or any of our legislators about how to address a policy that is geared towards seeing the bully and not just the victims.
I have to completely disagree with you on that point. Mm-hmm. Because that suggestion is in law, because that suggestion was made and that suggestion was adopted by legislators as superior to the enumerated policies already.
Right, well, but it's not working.
According to you.
Yeah, okay, I don't think it's working.
You wanted a little spark, didn't you?
Yeah.
Somebody